What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode. I'm Bobby.
Hey, this is Chi.
When are we going to get Ray his icon, Bobby? I know you've been busy, dude. We put a lot on your plate.
Yeah. I actually did make one. I'm just not happy with how it turned out. So what I think I'm going to do is just delete all our little icons there and put podcast like it is in, I don't know, some other logo I made.
Okay.
I just got to get around to
The
replacing
icons are nice for Discord.
Yeah. No, I do like them. Yeah.
And if you haven't been to our Discord, go to dlgaming.net. From there, you can find literally all of our stuff. Sniper's doing a great job posting every day. He's got funny pictures of us doing... I think I was having sex with the goat the other day. He's just like superimposing my face on anything he can find. And yeah, so that's really good. What else do we got going on?
Let me scroll up here. Okay. Oh, we forgot to ask people to clip stuff in the show. Probably nothing funny happening today, guys. We're starting late, a lot of low energy, so don't worry about that. In case something does happen, though, clip it. Also, we're starting a weekly Discord discussion.
Oh, yeah, that went really well this week, actually. So you had some crazy statements, blasphemous statements, some might say.
Oh, yeah?
Bobby, about how looter shooters and generally games that you're just shooting at one thing without any cooperation are not good multiplayer games because they lack.
Not good co-op games. I think we need another name for them. I think we should call them shared experiences because it's like watching a movie with somebody. It's like they don't need to be there, but, you know, it's kind of cool that they are. You know, they're sharing in the collective psyche.
Right.
But, you know, true co-op, once you've tasted true co-op, it's hard to go back.
Well, here's the thing. When I think about true co-op, I don't think about the basis of the game and what the game provides to make it a real co-op experience. I think it's more or less dependent on who you're co-oping with.
Yeah, well, it's more of a social experience for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
not
what
for
co-op
me.
is for me. Like the game. Yeah, I could. You might as well, if the co-op's so great in the game, it might as well just be AI. You know, if you're just worried about the makings of the co-op within the game.
Good point.
But I really feel like co-op experiences are about the personalities and the emotions that you bring into the game as you go up.
Mostly hate.
I think you just like hanging out with people online and having something to do while you're doing it. It could be coffee, it could be a movie, it could be whatever, as long as you're able to socialize with someone. I think you'd be happy, but...
That is so true,
God,
actually.
we're going to get
for
right
me.
into it.
So what is this weekly Discord discussion? It's debate. It's
So because this was
a weekly debate.
Yeah, well, not a debate, but like a discussion on like maybe the most talked about thing that we talked about, or the most contentious thing. Yeah, maybe it is discussion or debate, but it went really well in the Discord. Like it blew up. Like it was the smartest thing said this week on our Discord was in this channel. And I thought that was pretty good. And then it went off the rails, but then it came back. Whatever.
It's where the real content is. This is where you can judge everyone's character. That hashtag discussion text channel, right? Based on their opinion.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all there. Bobby, shit, I don't know if I should get into Borderlands 3 right now because it's like, I want to make one really clear point about that. I prefer playing Borderlands 3 alone, but I like hanging out with people more than not hanging out with people.
Wow.
So then
all right. That's a whole discussion. We should put a pin in that.
You see what
we're going to come back
yeah,
to
there's
that.
plenty we
that's
have to
all.
talk about
So,
before we dive one deeper.
So that's a defense that's a check in your box, Bobby. Like, yeah, it's more of a social
we
thing.
got a lot to say about BL3 a little later here. But before we do that, let's finish up with the intro. Again, we want to thank Fractal Design. We saw a short preview of what Ray has done with the video, and it looks fantastic. It's going to be great, and it's going to be up soon. When are we thinking?
It's being turned in tomorrow. Then it's got to, I don't know, maybe people need to do something with it. I don't know.
We're aiming for Tuesday or Wednesday here to have it up on our YouTube channel, and that is the video of Emilio and I putting together the WASD build.
And that's why Ray isn't here, correct? He's just
crunch time, yeah.
crunch time for Ray, and he's off doing Ray things and trying to fix the fitted sheet in the video. You gotta. It's like the Sonic effect, where you got to fix the eyes, you got to fix the wrinkles on the tabletop.
He's actually superimposing you in all instances of me because you look so much better.
Yeah.
Do I? What do you mean I look so much better? What do you
Than
mean?
me?
Oh, I thought you meant like.
Definitely not me, man. I
Like
pop on
avert the-
camera. I don't know what it is. I saw that video. I was like, yes.
Bobby. Okay, now.
I was a little like, when we filmed it, I was like, man, I don't know. And then I saw the video. I'm like, nailed it.
Yeah, you did, dude. You did
Beautiful.
so good. So this is no hyperbole here at all. I played it for Roberta. She goes, "Who's this?" And I was
Oh
like,
my gosh, she didn't
goes-
recognize you.
she goes, I was like, "That's Bobby." She goes, "Oh, I've never heard him speak."
"Oh my
And then
goodness!"
then she goes, "Man, he's really well built, huh?" She's like, "Look at him with his big shoulders and little waist."
Yeah.
She's like, "Damn." And then so I was like, "God damn it." Okay.
Okay, so we know
By the
who's
way-
going to be on the cover of our DLG
What is?
summer
Oh yeah.
calendar.
Yeah.
It's going to be Bobby. It's going to be 10 months of Bobby. Maybe
Soy in every picture.
Oh
one
my God.
spread on me, and then you and Ray are in
Yeah.
the fucking
I'm just picturing
credits.
that Zoolander calendar where it's like the same expression every single month and it flips past.
So then
Wait. Hypothetically speaking, really quick, off the gun, what month would you be and what scenery would you be in if you had a month in a calendar?
I was born July 3rd, so there's always fireworks around my birthday.
Yeah, you
so
seem like a summer month.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
spread
yeah.
would that be? The DLG calendar.
enough fireworks to cover me, right? It'd be like fireworks in front of most of me naked.
Oh my God.
All right, Bobby, shoot, go.
I don't know. Probably a winter month, maybe October, something a little
Ooh.
gothy. Yeah.
Oh, I could see that. Bobby
think
and
that would work for
eyeliner,
me.
and
Yeah.
only eyeliner,
Whoa.
or body paint.
now.
Body paint Bobby. That's
All
a
right.
thing.
Wow.
So Bobby, so then I show it to Jason, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a mutual friend of ours, and he's like, first thing, like I'm there. I want people to look at the video, tell me what they think of it. First thing. Oh, Bobby been working out, huh? God damn!
Yeah.
Forget the build. Check out his
Stole-
build.
Stole the show.
Hey, sex
Right?
sells.
It does. I mean, that was the
That's
whole
true.
reason I was working out, man. That's what all this has been about, just for that video.
Yeah. And then real quick, I have to take the month of November. That's my birthday month.
November.
Yeah,
That's
the
a good
month
month,
of
very
November. I
fall.
wouldn't know what I would be doing though in a November spread.
Walking through the beach like you did on your live stream. Maybe.
Oh God, that's horrible. No.
Mostly falling over.
No. It's gotta be. I don't know. It's gotta be something like Scorpion, Harvest Moon related. By the way, last Friday was the Friday the 13th Harvest full moon. I don't know if you guys have any stories from a Friday night like that, but I do.
No.
No.
I went to bed, got some great sleep.
Last night the moon was crazy. It was yellow last night.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Full moon.
My kind of color. Anyways, so but
That's an Asian joke, everybody.
One big, one huge announcement, guys. This is the second before last podcast before we do our live podcast at the DLG Con TwitchCon house. Huge, super extravaganza meet and greet. I am super excited. I just want to touch base on a lot of the details revolving around here. I know I've been kind of quiet, off the radar. I've been working a lot, but I'm taking a lot of days off. I'm taking almost a week off right before the con, so all the pieces tie in together. With the TwitchCon house, the rooms are officially booked, guys. I know I've been moping and whining, but we are at virtually max. We are at fitted capacity, but not maximum capacity. So if anybody's still interested, there's probably a corner or a tent we can shove you in. Outside of that, though,
Or my lap.
outside
Where
of
I
that-
pay you.
Outside of that, though, we are having a couple things happening before the TwitchCon house. I am going to announce that this Friday we're going to do a Discord/gaming breaking the ice event. I have Friday night off, so I'll be able to gather up everybody, and we're
Like
going
a
to have
game
like
night, right?
like a social night
Yeah.
for the tenants of the TwitchCon house. So I'm letting you guys know that now. And then outside of that, post podcast, this podcast and the next podcast, we're going to have our TwitchCon house meeting. So you're invited to come in and kind of, ring out some details with me. And then the details thus far that we have confirmed is Takira
Yeah, Takara on Saturday.
on Saturday.
Yep.
So tacos, everyone. And then also our live recording and pool party is going to be on Sunday. And then Friday, it's probably just going to be a fucking shit show. And then we are going to do the WASD.
Somewhere in there. It's just it's tricky. There's a lot of moving parts right now, so we're trying to.
It's quite a schedule we got going on.
Schedule.
But the thing is, here's the thing. We're all going to be present, right? We have all taken time off to make sure that we're...
Yeah, I just asked Bobby. He's like, yeah, he's going to be... I was
Okay,
concerned
cool.
about Bobby. Bobby shows up for half an hour of things, and he's like, oh, people are drinking. I'm going to get out of here.
Yeah. But Bobby, so how prominent of a presence are you going to be at this TwitchCon house?
Well, it depends
I'm
how
gonna be
tight his
there.
shirt is.
Oh, he's ready for the pool party, guys. I've got some floaties lined up. I've
boy.
got some kegs lined up. It's going to be a great weekend.
Oh my!
thank
I'm
you,
going to be there as
everyone.
much as possible.
Yeah,
So,
I really have to say
yeah.
thank you, everyone that is going to show up and be there. Thank you, everyone that's contributed. Thank you in advance for anyone that's looking to still kind of participate in any way. I am super excited.
I'm almost thinking about pulling my trailer over there and crashing there.
Oh, that would be
right
great.
outside.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
That'd be a good idea, man.
That'd be an amazing idea, in fact.
All right. Well, let's talk about some video games. All right. On the radar, games that have come to our attention this week. The first one up is Blasphemous. I've been hearing about this game a lot.
It's got a really cool look, and that's why probably you've heard about it. Very good pixel art. I feel like every episode we talk about a cool game that has really cool pixel art, but this is up there. This is a Metroidvania.
Very Castlevania.
Yeah, and with like they put emphasis on how good the tactics are and the sword play and
Very
stuff like
challenging.
that. Yeah, challenging. And I saw that it's coming in somewhere around the 70%. And I read some of the negative reviews, and it seems like they're complaining about the Souls-like aspect of it. To me, that's what it seems like.
Too
Like it's
difficult?
A little too difficult. And of course, the people that like Souls-like mechanics are all about it. So
BT Dub in the description. This is an official hack and slash.
they say that in their thing too. They said it right there. Yep. I don't know. We got to look those up sometime.
Yeah. So someone, I think it was Kirby in Discord, had brought this up and said, hey, this might be a perfect game for Mini. And I noticed he was playing it today. And they advertise it as non-linear. So I guess it's not... You think a lot of these 2D games, you're going from left to right, but this one seems like it has a lot of vertical gameplay as well.
Yeah, just like,
Kind of a big area to explore.
Metroidvania.
Yeah, hence the
pretty much covers
Metroid.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is kind of expensive. So it's on sale right now for $22.49, usually $24.99. That seems a bit pricey for a game like this, but
Blasphemous pricing.
It is. Nice.
but it might be a lot of gameplay here. I mean, if it's, 15 hours a game, then I could see it being worth it.
Cool.
But probably not a game for me, though.
No, nor I.
All right, next up is Troubleshooter. Ooh, on sale.
Yeah, so I put this up mostly for Chi.
Yeah, it's cute. It's anime.
So it's anime, but it's a kind of, from what I got from the gameplay that I saw, XCOM-ish, but
Almost
with anime.
Persona XCOM. Persona meets XCOM.
I don't know what Persona is. Persona is the, you mean the art style?
The art style, yeah.
Oh, gotcha. And then the combat is all XCOM. And so it's like a Japanese RPG, but with different kind of combat. I don't know. It looks right up your alley, G, honestly. Because
I do love those type of
strategy, all kinds of stuff like
and
that.
I love strategy games. I really do. So it would be up my alley. And I was a fan of XCOM, but I never got anywhere with XCOM. And oddly enough, I know you said Japanese, but I'm pretty sure this is Korean.
Oh, you might be right.
Yeah, this
And
is
I
more or
bet- I
less
might be
along
racist.
the. This is more or less along the Korean hemisphere of when it comes to gameplay and art style and everything else. I wouldn't doubt it that it's Korean. I think that
Can
was
we
Korean on the screen.
Figure that out, Bobby? Dandelion, spelled all weird.
Yeah, before we're officially
figure it out
racist.
where they're
I
from.
am more than positive this is a Korean.
I'm not saying you're wrong. Even
Origin
I'm
type of
defaulting
game.
to you, but I'm curious. One, like, how do you know the difference?
Well, first off,
They
the
all look
language
the
on
same
the
to me,
screen.
Chi. The games, not the people.
Goodness. Wow. But no, I honestly think this might be more Korean based animation and maybe honestly like it's I don't know. For me, outside of the language on the screen, it just screams Korean game to me.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Because have you ever played games like was Gun Game Korean? I think Gun Game was Korean.
No idea.
Persona is Japanese, but yeah.
So
Troubleshooter.
this is
Troubleshooter.
On sale right now for $12, typically $20. Not a bad price.
Gee.
Seems fair. And this
Oh, if
came
I
out
had
2
time.
years ago. Oh. Been out for a while. Still in early access, though.
Oh, I don't know why it came out.
Yeah. Someone had mentioned it in Discord.
Gotcha.
Torta had mentioned it. Okay, next up, Knightin.
Knightin Plus.
Knightin Plus.
Not to be mistaken with regular just Knightin. Knightin around. We're not fucking around here. So this is a roguelike Zelda kind of both things.
I like
if you
it.
look at it, it looks exactly like fucking
Classic Zelda.
Yeah, classic Zelda.
Like Nintendo Zelda.
Right, but there's no open world, I don't think. I think it's all dungeon crawling. Thus the roguelike aspect of it. So it almost took the Binding of Isaac approach, but then kept everything else except for the Zelda roots. So I could definitely see a lot of people getting behind this if that's what you're craving. It kept the action parts of Zelda.
Oh, how cute. The first description in this game says, join Sir Loot-a-lot in the Zelda Light adventure.
Oh.
It is literally calling itself a Zelda Light adventure because that's what it is. It's Legend of Zelda meets roguelike.
Yeah, that was well done. Well said.
So,
Super kawaii.
it's on
Is that
sale right now.
Super kawaii. Is that Japanese or Korean? Go.
Japanese.
Yes.
A lot of puzzle solving, which not a lot of roguelikes have. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying it's way more on the Zelda side.
Yeah, it looks very much like Zelda. So this, I guess, according to the Steam page, began as some sort of project for, looks like one of those game builder events where people have a certain amount of time to build a game. Right. Yeah, so it probably started off very small, and they ended up fleshing it out to a whole standalone game. And it's only $5.
Happened.
Oh no, it's happened many a times.
Yeah, that's cool.
And $5 seems like a fair price.
Yeah, for sure.
Knightin Plus, Knightin with a K. Mm-hmm. All right. Next up, Resident Evil's Project Resistance.
So this was at the Tokyo Game Show, so we're a little bit out of order here.
Well, let's just bring up the Tokyo Game Show here.
We'll do that. So Tokyo Game Show happened. I'm notoriously not into that much Japanese stuff, but there were some things here worth talking about. Mostly the Final Fantasy VII remake trailer came out. Mm-hmm. I thought all of the CGI looked great, but when I saw the gameplay, it is really good. But compared to Final Fantasy 15 gameplay, not as good, actually.
Really?
So, which I thought was funny, or like odd. Because this is coming out afterwards.
Well, the trailer is a little weird because they have the cinematic trailer, which, pre-rendered and all.
Right.
And maybe these are the cutscenes in the game. I don't know. It looks fantastic.
I don't think of them as cinematics. They really just seem like in-game cutscenes.
Well, in this trailer, they cut to the game, and there's a stark difference.
Yeah. I guess I'm talking about combat. The combat sequences in Final Fantasy 15 were identical to the CGI. Or very, very, very close.
Very, very similar. I think it was beautiful.
Yeah. And then this one, I saw the rough edges. I wasn't as impressed. That said, it doesn't matter. This is bot. Like, I don't care. Yeah. This is bot mostly because of, I want to figure out if like, I'm still into what I was into when I was 16 or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Mostly as an experiment on myself. See if that's still there. So
that 2-second seeing Ares asking Cloudo out on a date or about to take him out on a date. That's all I need. That's the moment of Final Fantasy VII that I am going to live for, that date night. Like I honestly have never beat Final Fantasy VII, but whatever. I'll be playing this and hopefully beating it because I love it that much.
Well, it's only on PlayStation, right? No plans for a PC release yet?
I don't think so. No, this
What?
is Sony's money card. Sony's going to make as much money as possible, I imagine, selling systems, selling the game.
Why the shit are we talking about? I thought it was coming out on PC.
What?
I thought it was guaranteed on PC.
Wait, probably later. It would be stupid if they didn't come out to PC eventually.
Shit.
But
they take a while
more
to
than
get to
confident that it's just going to be a PlayStation title,
shit.
which doesn't phase me none. I actually have a PlayStation 4. I've never plugged in yet, so. But it might be worth it to get this plugged into a TV and not just.
You
a
do
monitor.
have the Titan plugged in, right?
Yeah, I do have the graphics card in. No, as for what you were mentioning in regards to the graphics from first off, the summon is what freaked me out the most. The summons in the combat is Shiva or Shiva, whatever. The way she looks, the way her body flows in combat, it just blows my mind. I'm super excited how good the characters look. It's like watching, almost even better than watching the Final Fantasy movie. It's beautiful. And then my expectations, I don't have high or low expectations. I just feel like it's hard to love this any less. I think you can only learn and grow to love it more.
It's my favorite.
It legitimately looks so good just because it's so rare that games get completely remade in this sense.
Yep.
This was a complete makeover for the game. So
shot for shot remake, which never happens. It's so expensive. It's like making a new game. Maybe even harder because you got to stick to a script. You can't even go off.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But, every now and then there's a game that probably deserves it as well. Like
for sure.
WoW Classic. Look at that.
Yeah, it's doing really well.
Anything else from Tokyo Game Show?
Yeah, let's go to that Resident Evil one, Bobby. It's up. Just go up a little bit higher. There, one more. There you go. So this is a 4v1 game. This is like Evolve, I guess.
Yes.
But instead of being a big monster, I believe that what do they call him? The dictator or something like that. I forget what they call him. But the bad guy has control of the game board. So he's putting down zombies.
It's kind of like the dungeon master.
Like a dungeon master in real time, I believe is what I understood. I see he's watching it through the cameras, and then so he can tell the zombies when to go in. He can place special infected, stuff like that. Hopefully they pull it off. It's all about the gameplay on something like this.
Yeah. I am a huge Resident Evil fan. I love cooperative games. The Evolve equation is a huge turnoff for me generally. But Resident Evil is such a trusted zombie franchise. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. And then they always come up with very innovative ways to reinvent themselves, because I played, what was it? The Resident Evil Outbreak, where virtually there's no one else on the internet playing that game because that was back in the 56K days,
right?
Dial up in order to play Resident Evil Outbreak or Outbreak 2. So, and I was playing that and I thought it was amazing, even though it wasn't the original Resident Evil equation. This I'm excited for. I doubt and I hope it's nothing like Evolve, but it would be worth at least checking out.
Yeah, I think it's worth. Hopefully,
I would do it for the co-op social experience of just learning how good or bad the game might potentially be. But my hopes are high. My hopes are very high.
Cool. Yeah, hopefully they pull it off. I think they will.
Yeah, well, let's hope. I also think it depends on the price point.
Well, it's not Deep Rock Galactic.
No.
Who, by the way, is doing a free weekend.
Yeah, free weekend.
Coming up, or did it pass?
By the time people listen to this, it'll be over with. I think it stopped 10 o'clock today.
Go fuck yourself, future people.
I wonder if they were, I didn't even check, I've just been so busy, but I wonder if that tied into, they have a big patch or a big update coming.
No, oh, you're Mr. What's his name? Mr. X. What? A robot that looks suspiciously familiar to Nemesis and Mr. X. You're Mr. X meets the Terminator? Oh, that's badass. Sorry, you didn't tell me about that one, Emilio.
I don't know.
Looking at the video, you're basically setting up traps and whatnot. But if you get to be Mr. X and just come and pound down on these boys and girls, holy shit!
Maybe
so it's
at
almost
some
like
point,
a mix of what's that? Jason game.
Oh yeah,
it's
Friday
the 13th.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a little bit of Friday the 13th meets Resident Evil meets Evolve meets Left 4 Dead. Who knows? I am definitely going to be playing
almost.
it. Yeah, I'm going to be playing it.
Cool.
All right, let's talk about some games that we have been playing. First one, the big one, Borderlands 3 came out.
I just got attacked by a fly. Flew up my nose. Great.
Don't sound so enthused, Bobby. The big one.
Bobby,
with
what
Borderlands 3.
What plays better, Bobby? I don't understand. Like your homework segment or me like gushing? What
I don't
plays
know.
better?
Well,
for a
that was a
podcast?
terrible assignment for homework. I mean,
How,
Yeah.
in what way?
in several different ways.
Okay,
Yeah.
and explain.
All right. Well, first of all, it's a game we already got coverage for. You and Ray had already played it.
Sure,
So
but dude, we feel bad that you're not playing.
don't feel bad for me.
We do feel bad. And
I
you and
really
your big guns.
If I really wanted to play it, then I would play it.
I know, but
Okay, but second of all,
Okay.
it's Borderlands.
Right.
Like I think we're all missing the point of the homework section here. Like you can't. I mean, Borderlands 3. I mean, what new revelation am I going to have about this game? Like we all know that it's just like all the other Borderlands. Although I hear there's some end game stuff that sounds pretty cool.
this
but,
is how bad we wanted you to play a
I know.
AAA title.
But to
That's
play
all.
3 hours of Borderlands, it's just
We
like,
abused our power. I agree. We abused our power.
Well, also you guys came up with it at the last second. You're
That's
just like, oh, we didn't have anything planned. You guys need to make a list, write some stuff down, and then when the time comes, you have a few things to pick from.
You're dealing with Mexicans here, dude. We're not good on planning.
You can prepare a little bit.
All right.
Show them the list on my phone. Yeah.
So anyway, you haven't answered the question. Should homework go before?
We can just do it at the same time. I mean, we're talking about the same game here.
All right, go ahead.
So I played, I don't know if I played a full 3 hours of it. I played
Level 7.
at least, yeah, I got to level 7. I messed around. I didn't have any technical issues except when I tried to enable DirectX 12, and I spent like 10 minutes trying to get that to work and then just gave up. Whatever, not a big deal. The game still, it looks great. It plays just like all the other Borderlands. It's got a lot of the same humor. I can tell that they use a different voice actor for Claptrap, though.
I was really listening.
I
and
can
was
tell.
like,
I can hear just in like little spots there, but it's
Did
not
they
a
do
huge-
that on purpose, or
Yeah,
were
probably
they
that guy
trying to
was an
minimize
asshole.
the disconnect?
Was he the asshole?
I don't know.
There was a back and forth, and we all know
Either
Randy
Pitchford
Pitchford
is the asshole.
Well, we already know Randy Pitchford's an asshole, though. I mean,
Yeah,
that's not really a hot take, I'm not really, I'm not really starting stuff here. Like that's well documented online, so I don't know, but yeah, two sides to every story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they had a falling out. Gee,
Oh yeah, I
the
know.
original voice actor.
yeah, and then there was the whole Nolan North thing too.
It was good
but-
enough.
Yeah, it was close enough. But, I mean, the gameplay was great, but Fastidious was explaining to me some of the end game content, and that's what sounded really good to me. And, there's no way I was going to reach that anytime soon. And hopefully, I don't know if you've looked up any of that. You're probably not at that point yet.
No.
But it sounds like they really took it up a notch where there are like a rating system
There's a
at the
rating
end game
system.
system.
That's cool.
There's what was the other thing?
The characters are new too, right? Tell me about them. But
Sure.
after you talk about Endgame, I'm sorry, I'm just so intrigued.
I forgot everything that there was. It was more than just rating. Can you look it up, Bobby? Just end game, Borderlands 3 end game. While I run through these 4 characters. So there's Flak, the Beastmaster, which I went with right away. I'm always about the pet classes all the time. And let me talk really quickly about the classes themselves. In all other Borderlands, you got to go down one of 3 skill trees, and then you can become a hybrid, and that could work. But now there's so much more variety, because you don't have just 3 super abilities. Your special, I guess we'll call it. You actually have a choice of 4 to 6 different ones, and then you could augment them differently. And so
So even though you're one class, you're not really limited to just one tree.
I mean,
I know
you
they
can-
have different trees, but the abilities more or less, like how your play style is more or less the same.
There used to be 3 trees,
Yeah.
and there still is 3 trees, but those 3s can now be segmented into even more diversity.
Awesome.
So we could both be Beastmaster Flax,
Oh, that's
but
cool.
still be different.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really cool.
It is really cool. I thought it was pretty great.
Okay.
Just in general, just my general wrap up on this game is that so Borderlands 2 is number 3 on my games of all time, and this is better than that. Now, that saying, is it now number 3 on my list? It's kind of weird because this they didn't have enough innovation for 7 years. It's not that much better.
Yeah, it's a lot more of the same, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
It's not a
there.
bad thing.
If it's
They
not
just-
broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. But there's tons of quality of life improvements. Tons and tons and tons. Like looting is 60% faster. Like you don't have to actually look at the loot. All you have to do is hit the green button and run away, and the stuff will just fly at you. Before you have to stand there and kind of like pick out what you wanted. Now whatever you need just kind of you like
It's like
magnetize.
a loot magnet?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So like say me and you were playing Chi,
Okay.
and I went and opened 10 chests. And
I don't have to stand around and
you
tap
literally
my
only have to
toes,
run
check
by
my
them.
watch.
You just have to run by them.
Oh, okay.
And you'll absorb any ammo that you don't have and health packs that you need.
Okay,
So
cool.
it's super easy. There's new mechanics in the game. There's knockdown abilities now where like before you get something super fucking totally badass and you don't really feel it. The gunplay feels stronger now. And then if you get a really badass gun, it has knockback. You can knock them down on their ass and they stop shooting at you for a little while. So you have a badass shotgun, you can just roll around and just knock everybody on their ass, keep them down. It's almost like crowd
So
control.
it's like melee? Knockback, like in Left 4 Dead, where you knock back a zombie and
No,
it
you can knock
disables them
them
for a
down
little
on
bit?
their asses. If you hit them with like an explosion, a grenade, will knock
Okay.
them on their asses. So they
it
stop
actually
shooting at you.
disables you.
Yeah, it
Them,
disables
sorry.
them for a little while. Yeah.
It's a little
Okay.
form of CC. And then there's also alternate fire on the guns, which I think is new as well.
Yeah.
And then she was sliding. Is that new to Borderlands?
It's new. I haven't used it once.
It's very much an Apex thing.
Nobody ever
from what it
does, but once you
appears.
get in the habit of doing it, you use it all the time.
I would probably use it all the time, just out of
Yeah.
Apex habits. I
So
suppose.
I looked it up. I looked up the message Fastidious had sent me, and the end game content he was describing was wave survival and also
wave
dungeon/raid bosses.
There you go.
Wave survival was a thing already, though, right? In Borderlands.
In one of them, yeah, there was a DLC that had it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also butt stomps. I haven't used them once, like offensively.
Butt stomp.
Yeah, like like a Mario butt stomp. Yahoo! You
Oh,
slam
like a
down.
ground pound.
A ground pound, yeah. So you actually ground pound something at some point, and what's his name? Claptrack is like great ass power or whatever it
Ooh.
is. But
Okay.
so one of the weirdest things about this game and its release, there's a couple of big things. One, I know I'm jumping all over the place. I'm trying to get it together, but one, it came out on Epic because it's an Epic exclusive, and people are hating on that, and people wanted it to fail. But it had a moderately good release with not a ton of technical difficulties. Some people are having them, but anybody I've talked to personally has not. JP Diddy had a corrupted save file, so he had to scrap his whole character. But that was only he was like level 3 or 4. But I could see if that was a level 22 character.
Yeah,
you'd
that's
be
still
pissed.
not
Yeah, for sure.
acceptable.
Me, because I'm on an ultra wide, my when it's playing cinematics, I'm seeing maybe 40% of my screen. Like the black bars on the side are gigantic. I can only see like a little bit, and it's not cropped. Oh no, it is cropped. So I'm only seeing like a very small fraction of what I'm supposed to be seeing. But that's just the cutscenes. Besides that, everybody, not one person that's bought it and been playing with me. There's probably 10 people on the server that are playing it. Everybody loves it. I haven't heard a bad word said about it. On that note, PC Gamer gave it a scathing review of 63. That brought down the average to 85. If you look at all the other reviews, they vary from 95 to the worst one being 85.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's up with
So
this
if
guy?
we do
You
the bell
shouldn't be-
curve
I mean-
review on this one, what's the actual review score?
Go ahead, what?
I don't know. Like the
bell
whole
curve
review
means you knock
thing
out the-
doesn't. I read the PC Gamer review.
Me
and
too.
Yeah, he went off a lot on the sense of humor. He seemed to really focus on. He didn't really care for that. I mean,
Is that enough to knock something down to 63?
everyone's got their own take, but we should stop assigning numerical values and acting like that means something.
I
Like
disagree completely, dude.
Everybody keeps going to Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes and using that as the.
It's a great
the-
tool. There's
This is
a
coming
reason
from the
for it.
teacher, boys and girls.
This has absolutely, especially on video
Let's just
games.
go pass fail on all video games.
No, not pass fail, but I mean, you have to.
So what would you use if not numerical?
We
if
don't
not
have
math?
time to read reviews anymore, dude. Everybody's super busy.
Well, first of all, you can find better like more to the point reviews. And sometimes you even go to the Steam reviews, and if you just scroll through a couple of those, you'll find one guy who just gets right down to the point. Like that I find to be the most effective. But anytime you try to aggregate, then it just, I don't know. I feel like you are looking at the wrong thing, because especially for a video game, like was anybody not unaware or not aware of what they were buying when they got this game? Was anyone going to the reviews and being like, I don't know what, this is really taking a risk here. Borderlands 3, I'm not sure what this is going to be like. I better check it out. Everybody knows what they're getting with this game. It's just,
well, it could have been really bad technically. It could have fallen apart. The gameplay could have been bad. The shooting could have been not fun. The humor could have been truly not good. All those things could have happened. So you have to check rough. I think it's a great tool to get a general idea of good or bad. I think it's a fantastic tool.
What
actually
needs to change in order for this to be an actual new rendition of the game for you, Bobby? Like what?
a new rendition?
Not a new rendition, but I feel like what you were saying is that it's the same equation and
Which
too much
is
of the
totally
same
fine,
equation,
but
and because of that, it's not good enough.
no, it's just not what I want. I mean, I'm glad that everyone's buying this and enjoying it. Like if they like it, go right ahead. But it's just not. I mean, because like real talk, I've got about 5 hours a week right now I can dedicate to video games. Sometimes I get up to 10, but realistically, I can dedicate 5 hours to gaming. I'm not going to play 5 hours of Borderlands. You're not going to play 5 hours of WoW a week. That's just not that's not the type of game you spend that amount of time with. So this is just not the game for me right now.
it's funny because when you're playing HATS, you were doing like 20, 30 hours, and you had
I was
time for that.
Yeah, I also wasn't sleeping, working out, eating correctly, doing
true.
weekly videos, and putting more into the podcast. So
That's a good point.
yeah.
No, point well made, because I've only had time to play classic WoW if I have been having time for games, and I haven't really. But when I have been putting time into classic WoW, it's really fucking weird. I'm not sure if I don't want to transition yet because I want you guys to really wrap
I
up.
just want to wrap it
Borderlands
up.
3.
I did say I was going to go through the characters. There's a Beastmaster one. There's a lot of customization within one group. So any character can be played as a tank. Anyone can be as a bruiser. Anyone can be as a high damage one. It all depends on how you do it. And there's more than 3 varieties for each one. So he gets a pet, but he doesn't get one pet. He could have his choice of 3 pets. And then once he gets that pet, you can augment that pet in different ways. So like, even though you get the healing pet, you can do a high damage healing pet, or however you want to do it. Like there's so much interplay. There's another one that's basically Diva from Overwatch. She's a chick that
Mose.
Yeah, she pulls down a mech. Everybody seems to be playing her. That's the most.
She's the Zero of Borderlands 3.
Yeah, she's the most commonly picked one that I've seen. There is a soldier of fortune type dude. What's his name, Bobby? You picked
Zane.
Zane. Yeah, he has an Irish accent, which is great. It's not you. I think that's the best accent. It's the most entertaining accent I've ever heard. I love fucking Irish accent. And he's deception gadget, basically, right? Like a gadget dude.
Yeah, I was going into his tree where he had a lot of perks to his guns, and it was like the more you kill, the more powerful you become. So he really goes on a streak.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, but he had a lot of other. He has like a clone target he can spawn, and also a little drone he can send out to attack people, kind of like that bird, Mordecai.
Oh yeah, and then Amara, which is she's
Another
like
siren. You always got to have a siren.
She's a siren, but usually sirens are like more distance related, like they do things from afar. Amara seems to do things up close. She is like the Brick from Borderlands 2. She's up close and personal. I even got a perk. I played a little bit of Amara. I got a perk where the closer you are in distance, the more damage your bullets do.
There was a way you could spec the siren from Borderlands 2 like that, though, because I remember a lot of melee ones. Yeah.
I think there was, because I think that's how I like to play Siren when I did play her.
Gotcha. Up front and personal?
Yeah, up close and personal. I would get annoyed if I had to, have long distance combat.
And I'll tell you the truth, like, I went with the Beastmaster, and it's working exactly like a Beastmaster should. Like in WoW, you let the fucking animal take a bunch of the
Aggro
action,
and
yeah,
tank.
and you kill things from afar. I played a little bit of Amara, and it was way much more up my alley. But I'm way too committed with Flack. Plus, I like his personality. Yeah, here's the thing about the comedy. Like, I laugh. I've laughed out loud several times. It is entertaining most of the time. But like, try to write a 16-hour sitcom and be funny throughout the entire like, you just throw things at the wall and you hope that people find it funny. Like, it's so hard to be funny in video.
Are they trying too hard with the humor? It's not very understated. Is it more just in your face?
It's in your face all the time, and you either laugh or you don't. Like, it doesn't matter. There's a point that I wanted to make. When the humor's not landing, the loot is entertaining. If the loot's not falling, the shooting's entertaining. If the shooting's not entertaining, the story isn't that bad. So, like, there's always something there to entertain you. It's hitting you with so many things on so many levels that, like, I'm never bored. There's always something to do. Even if it's inventory management, even that's kind of like, oh, let me check that out. Is this better than this? Is this better than that? And then one last thing that just popped in my head. There's a machine that grabs all the shit that you didn't grab. Like, if you left a purple on the ground on accident, a blue or an orange, there's a machine on your spaceship that collects it all. And you go up to it and you're like, oh shit, and then there's like, it's like Christmas morning after the raid. Like, you click it and you get all this stuff in case.
So you never have to worry about fucking looting in a looter shooter.
Except for.
How does that make you feel, Bobby? Is that game changing?
I don't know if the other Borderlands had that, but some game did.
I know there are other games. I've played other games that did that.
Games have been doing that for a little while here.
I thought it was pretty great. That's new to me. But you do have to pay to expand the capacity.
Maybe it was
of
Destiny.
This thing.
Yeah, and it's a nice
I think
touch.
it is Destiny. Yeah, it is Destiny that does that.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it makes it too easy, but I don't think that's really an issue with a game like Borderlands.
So wrap it up. I already said it, but one of my favorite games of all time is Borderlands 2. Borderlands 3 is a better game, but it doesn't show 7 years of innovation, but that's okay. I'm having a great time. Yeah. Everybody that's playing it is having a great time.
So Idiocracy in chat is asking, do you understand at all some of the negative reviews it received?
I mean, we talked about that a little bit, right? Did you just come in?
I think it was, I don't know. I feel like a lot of those are from the technical side of things.
And not just that. There's the people that are hating on it just because it's on Epic. There's a lot of anti-Epic. I went on Reddit to try
my people.
I went to Reddit specifically to find out what the source of most of the angst was. And most people were just like not even entering the fray because it's mostly because of the Epic thing.
So this isn't on Steam at all?
No.
I am not surprised because
6
I
months.
kind of like, honestly, I've been so busy and I've been so enthralled with WoW that I did sign on to Steam once this week. And if it were on my front cover on Steam, I probably would have remembered that this game was out and I would have bought it.
Yeah.
But I didn't because it wasn't on Steam.
Yep.
And I'm not on Epic. So sorry, Borderlands, you lost my week 1 money.
And by the way, the things that I've seen is a gigantic success. It has twice as many, this is Pitchfork saying, it has twice as many PC players as Borderlands 2 did. And that the numbers are gigantic right now.
That's awesome.
It did really well on Epic.
Yeah, I think it's selling very well.
Yep.
We had some subs that we forgot here. Chosen, I don't think he's in chat anymore, but thank you.
Chosen.
Dude.
Chosen will be there at TwitchCon House.
It's like 13 months, dude. He's been around every single month.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Jeff gifted a sub to John J.
Thanks, dude.
Nice.
It is September, so I think all subs are half off, which means all of your money is actually going to the streamer.
Oh, you're nice.
Versus not. Good thing I'm not streaming at all this month, right, guys?
Yep.
Yeah. But I am getting some gaming in.
Gosh.
I do. After all that Borderlands 3 talk, I do want to just talk about WoW a little bit.
Oh, go for it.
I did
want to say one thing.
Yeah.
I know I was all over the place on Borderlands 3 review, but like there was a lot to talk about, and I'll try to be better next time. Anyway, gee, I'm curious about you rated, right?
Rating? No, I'm only level 28.
Then what'd you say that you were into? Why were you like, I'm doing some, like, what'd you say that you were doing? that you couldn't come at before 6 to...
I was running a dungeon.
Oh, a dungeon. How long do those take?
On average, anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour 20, depending on how good your group is,
Gotcha.
the class composite, the knowledge of just the players in general,
Right.
wipe fests. Like WoW Classic is a real time investment, and more than just a time investment. It is the epitome of what social gaming is and should be when it comes to MMOs, in my opinion.
I think you guys nailed it last week when you guys said that, like, something like, because it's so difficult, you actually have to talk to people. Like, it forces you to
I
talk
had that
to people.
conversation today with some of my guildies, and I am trying to become the social officer of my guild because there are virtually all the officers in my guild are already level 60. I'm not even level 30.
Yeah.
So these are no-lifers, but not really. They're just amazing at the game.
Yeah.
And they had the goal in mind to, match the pace of those who are hitting endgame right now. And on my server, there are plenty of guilds that are already running raids, and if not, had already completed all the raids
Now,
at this point.
There's people that completed the raids now.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah. So I am at the point where it's like, it's juggling real life, juggling World of Warcraft, but still not being a dirty casual with it. You can't be a dirty casual in WoW Classic and not get left behind. But on top of that, it's like
Sounds like you got left behind.
No, not really. Not really, because we're all still... I was just telling one of my friends who's level 41. He just got his mount, and it's not cheap. So I told him, hey, I'm so proud of you for playing the game the way you want to play the game and not changing how you play the game just to be around like levels with me. If you want to play WoW, if you want to do this with your character, then fucking do it. Yeah. We're all aiming for endgame anyways, and we'll just meet each other when we need to meet each other in the game. And it's super awesome because when the way I like to talk, if I had a book on my WoW experiences, this is what I would title it. It would be From Vanilla to Classic, The Memoirs of a Gamer Geisha. And I can tell you, playing WoW Classic is literally me like re-embodying a previous version of myself, but older, and in so many ways, emotionally, socially, physically. Like, I realized that before, when I used to play WoW, I was not of drinking age. I was never of drinking age while playing World of Warcraft.
This is your first time playing drunk, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. It changes up the game a little bit. But no, and on top of that, like, and then now my time, and then physically, like, my back hurts if I'm sitting on the chair too damn long. Yeah. That's probably not related to the game.
That's a really good
point.
Like,
extended gameplay
no, it's
itself.
not related to the
well,
point.
I worked 5 shifts in the last 3 days, so gotcha. I'm hurting from that. But my gaming endurance is a little bit different, but it's still kind of there.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to playing classic WoW, I can't emphasize the dependency on other players as
you have to
compared to
especially as a warrior,
retail
right?
WoW. Yeah, especially as a warrior. Compared to retail WoW and compared to virtually any other games out there. Bobby was stating earlier that looter shooters and games like Borderlands, you more or less, they don't even need to be there. Games like WoW, in order to really get a fun experience out of that, like solo dolo, yeah, sure, you can do it, but you're going to level slow. You're not playing the game the way it's meant to be played. And then the game itself, it's not just making it to end game and min-maxing your character and your time in the game. There are people that play that way, but I'm realizing that I'm playing the game the way I kind of played it previously before. I was going through the motions in the game. I was investing time in the game, and whatever came or whatever my focus was at the time, like, I'll just go through it, whether it's, leveling up my abilities, trying to recruit people for the guild, getting to know my guildies better, helping out my guildmates, like, randomly. I'm Alliance here. I'm level 26 Alliance. And one of my guild mates is like, hey, who wants to run Wailing Caverns? And Wailing Caverns is like a level 20 cavern dungeon. in in the Barrens, Horde contested territory. So it took probably 45 minutes to an hour to even group everybody up to show, actually almost 2 hours for everybody to fucking get there. Like the party was made and it took almost 2 hours for all of us to just fucking get there. And when you think about it and the way I translated it, playing classic WoW with friends is like meeting up with friends in real life. Some people, they're already like within five minutes away from each other. Other people live 15 minutes away, 30 minutes away, but nonetheless, we're all congregating. And sometimes it takes people longer. Some people like to lollygag around like I do, never show up on time, but, never actually really, at least show up. There are people that flake out beforehand, in the middle of in the thick of things. And it's just, to me, it's like, I understand why like WoW relationships are a thing. I understand why, people wanted this. People wanted the real gamer social experience where you are actually dependent on other people to enjoy your time playing the game. So it's really funny, and because it's.
I got Chad off of it the other day to play Borderlands with me, and he's like, "Sorry, man. WoW Classic's just so much fucking fun.
It's so much fucking fun.
You know how he does? He giggles through what he's saying. He's like,
it's just. Oh, I miss Chad.
It's just so much fucking fun.
He's like, oh my god, I
thought he was gonna say hard, but he said fun.
And it's so great because like right now there are a couple focuses for me when it comes to playing WoW. Of course, it is. For me, it's establishing my guild. I am recruiting for my guild, guys. So if you want to play Alliance, so you want to be a part of a really strong core group of gamers that are PvP pros, like all of the officers are gladiators, or we are gearing ourselves up to be a PvE guild, but then we're kind of building each other up like as family style, I guess. Around the dinner table. At least that's what I would say it. We're not going to be the largest guild in the server, but we're going to be a tight-knit group, and we're very friendly. We're very helpful, and I'm looking for people to just add to that equation. So one of my goals is building up the social network of my guild. And then secondly to that, another thing is just running more dungeons. I got my brother to play WoW Classic in this past week, and he's almost already caught up to my level. And this is what's it called? Where he has a stay-at-home wife. He's got a baby girl, and pregnant with a second child. And so he's got his hands full already. And he's playing WoW Classic. He's finding the time to play WoW Classic, and he almost G-quit on me. He almost quit the game because he's like, no one's fucking leveling with me. No one's grouping with me. What's the point of even being on this server if I'm just playing with myself? And I was like, okay, you know what? Let me stop everything. Let me make sure we set up a time to play together, because that's what WoW Classic is to me. WoW Classic is just like maintaining that gamer family, more or less the same. So I'm just babbling about the social elements. I could talk about, what it's like to be like a warrior now after only being Gothic classes, and how frustrating it is, and learning everything over again. But all I can really, really shine the light on is how much this has brought my existing gamer friends together and new gamer friends into my into my life. And that's really what WoW Classic is to me. It is. It's the best video game social experiment gone right. I love it.
It seems like people are sticking with it. It seems to be retaining a lot of its player base, and the queue times have gotten better.
Yes, there's free server migration on servers that are overly populated, and then once people have a better understanding of what times are servers are congested. Like I'm on an East Coast server, so for me being a West Coast gamer, that's actually very helpful. I can play late at night and not have to worry about queue times. But anytime middle of the day, my queue times are horrible. At least 2 hours, 3 hours still. But nonetheless, it's really I fucking love Classic right now. Everything I love, but that's the thing. I never played retail, but I just know it's just like going back. It's the perfect gamer reunion. Boom.
Nice. All right. Let's see. Emilio's not back yet, so I'll talk about something here. The only other game I played this week was Guard Duty, and I really didn't get far enough into this game to talk about it much. So I'm just going to give you a little bit right now and hopefully the full review next week. Guard Duty is a game that came up a couple of months ago, maybe, on the radar section.
Yeah.
And it's a point and click adventure game, but it's a very simple one. And it's almost, I don't know, I feel like this is a great point and click adventure game for people who don't play those types of games. It's almost a little too easy, but it really gives you a feel of what those games are all about. The interesting concept about this is part of the game takes place in the past and part takes place in the future, and the two stories are connected somehow. So it's got a pretty interesting story. Also, the voice acting is terrific on this. You can see the graphics aren't much to look at. It's very pixelated graphics, but the voice acting, I mean, they really went all out for it. It's got a lot of good humor in it, and everyone's got got a lot of British accents in it. But I'm enjoying it. It was on sale for $6.99 and it's $10 right now. That's the perfect price point for this. This game is realistically probably 6 hours long. Don't expect too much from it. But if you don't like point and click adventures, you're not going to like this. Like, that's just such a hard genre to sell people on. But this is definitely one that, like, when I recommended Thimbleweed Park to Ray for homework, and, that was really difficult for him, like, this would have been the game to recommend to him.
Well, here's the thing too, dude. It's like, at this point, how many people of our audience have played a point and click adventure? I would say it's probably less than 50%.
I don't know. I feel like if you're at a certain age, you've played a point. These were so prevalent in the 90s.
I hadn't played one.
Really?
Yeah.
Leisure Suit Larry?
Nope. I mean, I'd seen it, and then I
Okay.
was kind of into it because it had titties.
Mm-hmm. You never played like Grim Fandango or Monkey Island?
Not until recently. Yeah.
I don't know. They're out there somewhere.
Myst, does that count?
Not really. I don't know what you would call that game.
Yeah.
But I'm going to continue playing
Hack and
this.
slash dungeon crawler.
There you
That's
go.
what that is.
It's definitely, I don't know. It's, as someone who's played a lot of these games, it's a little disappointing that it's so simple, but at the same time, I am enjoying a lot of the other aspects of it. But, it's going to be quick and done with pretty soon. It's definitely not as good as Thimbleweed Park, but not as demanding. And it's definitely, even Deponia, even though I have some issues with that game, the Deponia series, it's that one's a little more fully developed, I think.
It overstayed its welcome, didn't it? With all the expansions.
But they're not really expansions. They're actually just like there was the first the trilogy, but then they came out with a fourth one. So I guess, I don't know, a quadrilogy. But yeah, they're their own things. But yeah, I don't know. If you are like curious about point and click adventure games, this is definitely the one to start with.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like shit, by the way, guys.
The graphics are very low res.
I mean, yeah, it looks like a Monkey Island level graphics.
Yeah, but I should be able to finish this next week, and then I'm gonna let you know how the rest of the game was.
I guess kind of charming in their own way, the graphics.
I mean, I don't know.
I would probably want a graphic overhaul like I did with Stardew.
With a game like this, I don't care about graphics. In a lot of games, I don't care about graphics. The cutscenes look great, and I mean, as long as you can tell what's going on, there's not a legibility issue, then I'm fine with it.
Well, the last one that I had a legibility issue. That's an interesting way of saying that. But Crawl, there was points in Crawl where I was like, I don't know what that is.
And another game that I actually really like the style of, but I did have problems with it was
exactly
Monaco.
What you're talking about. Yeah, Monaco.
Yeah, Monaco.
By the way, the Escapists, is that like Monaco, Bobby?
Escapist? I've never played that.
Okay,
I know
so
which game you're
part
talking
2
about.
just went
Escapist
live.
2.
Just went live on Origin Access as well. About this time last year, I was fucking shouting from the rooftops about Origin Access. Actually, I even had Chi. Did I buy it for you, Chi? Or did we buy it for you? I feel like we did. No, you bought it for yours. Oh, I'm so sorry.
What?
Origin Access Premiere. So I was like screaming from the rooftops.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is I was saying that Origin Access was the best deal in PC gaming. And it's still pretty good. It's not the
I'm not
best.
renewing my subscription.
Yeah, I didn't
feel like
think you were.
Premiere, it would be worth it if there was. It was worth it for like 1 or 2 game titles.
Right.
But at the same time, like if there's an expiration date on how long I can play those games, then it's not worth it.
What's the price difference between Access and Premiere? Bobby, do you know? Can you look that up?
Yeah, let me look
before
that
I go
up.
into my.
I thought it was $100 versus, I don't know, the original one's just
I
super
spent
cheap.
$100.
Yeah, the original one was $30 for the year. So yeah, that's why I was screaming from the rooftops. There was like a discount, and it came out to like $30 for the year for regular.
Yeah, $30 a year versus $100 a year.
Okay, so I still think basic is like really worth it, especially since there's not that many Premier titles anymore. Anthem just got put onto basic, so for $30 for the whole year, you can play Anthem for a year plus all the other games. I thought that I was like, after I had been talking about this for so long, I felt bad that I hadn't been playing these games. So I went to go play a few things. I might have been drunk. And I'm just going to quickly go through these because I was drunk and I played them each for about an hour each. I was just waiting for Borderlands 3 to come out. The first one being Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborhoodville. And this is exactly like Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. Mm-hmm. Just tons of content. Just almost like too many things to do.
It's like open world, not even battle royale.
There's so much to it. Okay, so
It's not open world. I'm sorry. It's just very large.
you could either pick plants or zombies. Mm-hmm. Of those, there's like 10 characters each, each one with their own skill tree. Mm-hmm. On top of that, you can either play like a not a battle royale, but like a 6v6, like like an Overwatch type match, or you can go into the single player mode and just play through the story, which can be played co-op as well. So there's just a million things to do. What I really wanted to talk about though is the production value and the graphics are insanely good.
Yeah.
Just like
Really good.
I could not believe how good it is. Like that's gameplay. This is all gameplay graphics. That's how good this game looks. It's cute. It's like we're talking about like Overwatch level production value. Whether or not it's a good game, like I played it a good amount. I was having a good time for sure.
Yeah.
They keep making these, so they're making money. There's a lot of microtransaction. And I think that's what turns on most like hardcore gamers, right?
I love this because every time I'm just watching this and you like talking about it, all I hear are my nephews
playing about
laughter ringing through
It's
my
like a kid's
ears.
game.
It's great to play with kids. Yes, absolutely. And I think that was their target, but there's enough in the game like questing and just creating your own goofiness. Like my nephew, you could either be on the same side or opposite sides, and sometimes my nephew and we would be like versus, and he would have just like I don't know, it's just the nonstop laughter. It's goofy.
There's a lot of goofy shit going on. Yeah. The deaths don't feel like deaths. It doesn't feel like you're killing
So you
people.
just respawn.
Yeah. It feels like when you get a kill, if they call them eliminations or something like that, it just feels like, okay, you took care of that guy. It doesn't feel like you shot him full of holes and now he's bleeding. Like it's very kiddie. But that all said, I'm just saying, production, graphics, I doubt that there's balancing. Like, I don't think it goes as deep. I can't imagine that this is like Overwatch level competitive play because of the microtransactions and how much you can have a level 12 going against
So it's pay to
level
win.
1. It's pay to win. That said, on that foundation, it's pretty impressive. Another one that I played was Abzu. I think Bobby really liked this one, right, Bobby?
Yeah, I didn't finish it. It's a walking simulator.
It's a swimming simulator.
Swimming simulator, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a lot of pretty stuff. And like in the most literal sense, like there's
swim.
zero puzzles. Like you're just
Yeah.
walking around or swimming around looking at cool stuff.
That said, there's a lot of nice colors. I found that the amount of pixels was just like really low. There's like rough edges, especially on the
It's a little
swim.
blocky.
Yeah, it's a little blocky, and like I'm okay with that for the background and everything. I'm gonna nitpick here. This is a 90% on Steam, but the swimmer himself is really, really blocky. It's like the one thing that you're going to see throughout the entire game is not very smooth. I mean, were they going for blocky? Maybe. I was a little let down by, because I had heard how beautiful this game is. And yeah, the colors are there. The atmosphere is there. The changing of, and the first time a shark came out, that I was like, whoa. Like it scared me. Maybe I didn't play it long enough. I played it about an hour, but it's only like a 5-hour game, right, Bobby?
Yeah, it's not long.
Yeah, I unlocked the first, whatever it is, shrine or whatever. I don't know. It wasn't, but then again, I'm more of a shoot people in the head with shotguns kind of guy.
It's just nice to look at.
It isn't nice to look at.
It's not trying to be anything more than that.
I guess not as nice than.
Is it good enough for a second date?
No, not for me. All I'm saying is like, if you're going to go with visual effects, I expect a little more than this. That's all. As shitty as that sounds. I played Lego Star Wars 3. I don't know how old this game is. Basically, it's.
I mean, speaking of blockiness,
episode 2. Yeah, but they did nice. Episode 2. I mean, Bobby talks about this all the time. They Legoize the most important scenes in the movie, and they do so well.
Well, this is Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars. A lot of these are actually from episodes of the Clone Wars TV show. Not the Genndy Tartakovsky or whatever one that they aired in 2-minute segments, but the actual one that went for like 7 seasons, and I think they brought back the one with Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah, but are you sure though?
Definitely, because I played this game like back in like 2010 or something.
But the opening scene is them in the Coliseum with all those guys watching them, and
it picks up there. But the Clone Wars TV show took place in between episode 2 and 3, so they probably started there and went through there. But yeah, there are things that happen in episodes of the Clone Wars that happen in this game.
Anyway, I thought it was super cute. I was really impressed by what a good job they did. The graphics are rough at this point, but still, it doesn't matter. I was like, I'm definitely good. I'm trying to get Mila to watch all the Star Wars. It's just not a girl thing for most. She's more of a princessy side, so I'm not going to force it on her at all. But she was halfway through episode 1. She was like playing with the dog. She was just not interested. It's Crypt and then Ark. I didn't even know how to pronounce it at first. When you look at it, it looks so weird, but it's Cryptark. Anyway, it's a roguelike twin stick shooter.
Not another roguelike.
I know. From the side perspective, it's not top down. It's side perspective. And you play as a mech that flies into derelict ships that have been taken over by strange AI. And all you have to do is go in and shut down the power core. But usually there's layers of defense on top of the power core. The interesting thing here is you can really load out your machine with like all the latest tech, all kinds of crazy shit, top-notch armor. But that means that your ship cost, let's say your mech, cost $300,000, let's say. But even if you win the level, let's say you only make $375,000, so you get a profit of $75,000, which is not that good. So if you were to dumb down your mech a bit, there's a lot of like economics that goes into it. If you go in with a lesser mech and still pull it off, your profit margin is a lot higher. And your game is not over when you die. The game is over when you run out of money. So if you go in with a weak mech and die, you can try again if you have enough money in the bank. But if you spent all your money on an expensive mech and die, the game's over. So I thought that part was really good.
You know how I would review like every single roguelike or roguelite on our show? It'd be so you got this guy, right? And you started with nothing, right? And you go in and there's platforms and there's things shooting at you, right? And then it's just like a bullet hell and things are just flying like left and right, but you're still doing things and you get things, but then you lose these things when you die. So you got to do it again.
It's so true.
But it's really cool, right? Because it's pixel graphics, but it's not really pixel graphics because it's like upgraded pixel graphics, but it's pretty pixels.
You nailed it.
Might be the best review you've ever done, Shane.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That's every game I play.
And then you're having the same fun that you had playing the same equation of a video game that has not more or less changed in the past 15 years, 20 years, right?
Yep.
Yep.
You got it.
All right.
You nailed it. God damn, you just cut me down, Chi. Really did.
I'm sorry.
Quickly, I want to talk about EVO 2019. EVO, I talk about it every year, is the fighting championships that they have in Las Vegas. They've been the biggest one for years and years and years. Now I don't know because now there's something called the Capcom Cup, and they do Street Fighter 2.
Capcom Cup?
Yeah. But it doesn't... Street Fighter is no longer the headlining game. This was the first year that it was not the biggest game at EVO. You guys want to guess what the biggest fighting game at EVO was this year?
Smash Bros.
Yep, you nailed it. And I don't even think Street Fighter was number 3. I mean, number 2, it was number 3. I think, I believe that Dragon Ball Z was above it this year.
Wow.
As far as like attendance and interest and stuff.
Wow, look at these gamers.
Yeah. It's pretty hard. You know, this is like, I mean, for somebody who's been playing Street Fighter all their life, I can barely like keep track of who's good and who's not. But all you have to do, if you want to watch a little good fighting, all you have to do is push EVO 2019 top 8. And then once you type that into Google, it'll give you a list of the top 8 of all these games. Tekken, Mortal Kombat, you know, all Guilty Gear X, all that stuff. And then you just click on it. It won't spoil anything. You just click on the top 8 and you just fast forward to the good parts, and it's really good. This particular Street Fighter one I thought was really good. I thought it was kind of funny that there's only one Arab character in Street Fighter, and he was being played by the only Arab player I've ever seen in the top 8.
Awesome. Repping for his own team.
Yeah, he was totally repping for his own team, and he did really well. I don't want to spoil anything, but...
Well, that's why I always like pick Chung Li, and I mostly, when I play fighter games, I look for the most self-reminiscent female character.
That's why I picked
that's
Blanca.
really fucking vain. Lol.
Did you hear about
not
the...
E Honda? You're kind of E Honda these days.
Oh, Jesus
I'm so
Christ.
sorry.
Did you? It's so true.
Well,
Savage, not sorry. That's
Blanca
my
is,
new tagline.
he's not Mexican. He's
No, he's supposed to be...
He's Brazilian?
No.
You fight him in Brazil.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid. He's actually like one of Guile's ex-partners. That
Yeah, no, I saw the movie.
Yeah.
I'm about to talk about.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna get into
and
Street Fighter.
His plane went down in Brazil, and that's why he lives there. That's
okay.
Why. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but okay. So in the movie, his name was Carlos.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I figured it was a Hispanic thing going on. Yeah. So I watched Street Fighter this
Carlos
week.
I know is a black guy.
Yeah, it can be that too.
It happens from time to time.
Yeah. So yeah, Street Fighter. Wow. Like right off the bat, video is going to be up on Friday. This, out of all the movies I've watched, except for maybe Blood Rain, this might be the worst one.
Oof.
And it's so tough for me because I love Street Fighter, love Jean-Claude, and this movie is just like, I've seen it so many times, and I'm just like, why isn't this better? Why isn't this good? I want this to be so much better, and it's not, man. It was a rough movie for me to get with, but Raul Julia almost saves it. You know, he comes in with a really strong performance as M. Bison, half dead, doing it. You know, dies before the movie comes out. Yeah, last movie he ever made, but you know, he steals the show. And I kind of picked up on a few things watching it this time. I really noticed the James Bond parody in it, or maybe not even James Bond, but it was more like the Venture Bros for me. I love that show. Was it on purpose? Yeah, they were totally going for it.
Okay.
So, I mean, check out Bison, all right? He's got like the whole color scheme. Him, his henchmen, all his lackeys, they're all dressed in red. He's got an evil lair on a big mysterious island. You know, he's got little things I noticed in the movie. He's got bison chairs. He's got bison drink stirrers. He's got everything's bisoned out.
His brand.
Right? Yeah. He's got the bison brand going on. And he starts a countdown like, you have 3 days to get me $20 billion. It's straight Dr. Evil. Like,
they don't call it Shadowloo at any point? Did you hear that word?
Yeah, it's Shadowloo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't enough to save the movie, but I did enjoy that part. I also noticed, I'm going to bring up a picture here, and Chi, I think you bear a striking resemblance to the actress playing Chun Li. Let's see, Chun Li Street Fighter movie. No, I'm not even saying that because
I told you I can't tell them apart.
Ethnicity, but like, just like some of the way, like some of the faces she made, I'm like, oh my God, that looks like Chi. Like kind of when you see her from the front, maybe.
She does look like me.
See. Yeah.
She's got the wide nose.
Yeah.
Like
Only
me.
from the front.
Yeah, like
Right
from
there.
the front.
Yep.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I'm gonna like bite your throat out or something kind of face.
But there's one part.
I remember the scene. I remember watching the scene. I thought she was gonna get raped.
There's definitely like he's making a pass
that,
at her
biting
in
his
this
lip.
in
Ugh.
this scene. Yeah, no, he like makes 2 drinks for them. Like, yeah, he's trying to put on the bison moves in his evil lair. And,
Branded. TM.
TM.
Bison moves TM.
Yeah, and look at that painting he's got in the background, like him riding a horse all majestically and stuff. It's ridiculous. But there's one line in this movie that always cracks me up because the dialogue is so clumsy. Like they have all these characters and they're trying to cram them into this movie. They're trying to get every Street Fighter in. So they do, they try to move everyone in so much that everybody just has these like real.
Wait, go back to her legs.
Her legs. Okay.
Who's got more
does she
Chung Li
got the
legs?
thighs?
Her or me? Oh, my
You.
legs are more Chung Li than her.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at this. Like look at my
Lightning
Chung,
kicks. Oh boy, here we go.
These are Chung Li legs. Those are not Chung Li legs.
Viewership just went up 700%.
Yeah.
No,
Twitch
like I
streamer-
legitimately embody Chung Li Lobo.
Did you
and
see
it
that-
maybe like almost all in all.
I almost put it.
Yeah.
I almost put it in the news, but
Chung Li is my spirit animal for sure.
a Twitch streamer got banned for dressing up like Chun Li
Why?
just because she had the high slits. They said it was like inappropriate or whatever.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I mean, Chun-Li's outfit is pretty wild there.
How is that fucking
mean-
inappropriate? Because people paint their tits on fucking Twitch. I don't get that.
Do they do that anymore? I don't know. I thought there
Yeah,
was.
they
I
do.
think they cut it down.
They do.
They've been cracking down on that, which I think is why she got in trouble.
I mean, I did jack off to Chun Li when I was on SNES when I was
You
like
almost said Chile.
14
That's gross.
or so whatever I was.
Oh my God! All
When they come
right,
out.
this scene right here is so Venture Bros here. Like,
Flying
he
Hawaiian. I didn't
poisons
know he
him.
was in the movie.
The skull lights up and then superimposed over Raul Julia making a maniacal face. This
Yeah.
movie is ridiculous, man. But yeah, there was one line in here that cracks me up, and it's the stupidest line. You know how you like focus on like the most minute thing?
That's what
doesn't
I
make
call
any sense?
pod racing.
Yeah, well, no, everyone focused on that. But yeah, it was kind of like that. Like, there's a part where Balrog, like, we don't know anything about Balrog, and then just near the end of the movie, for some reason, he just shows up in a boxing outfit with boxing gloves, and he's like punching
Oh,
guys.
I recall that.
There's no.
Wait, we saw this movie. We did commentary on this movie.
Yeah, we
together.
watched it together.
Yeah.
I don't
You guys-
remember that.
yeah,
Is
you
there a
were pretty
reason that I don't
wasted.
remember that, Bobby?
You
It
were
was
pretty
you,
wasted.
me,
Yeah.
Sam was there, Bobby, and
Ray showed up.
Ray
late.
showed up? No, he didn't.
Yeah,
He was there?
like at the very
Maybe.
end.
I don't know. That was a long night.
No, it was
Yeah.
way back then.
But yeah, so Balrog just showed, like, I feel like they cut a scene. I want to see the deleted
How did we
scenes that
get
shows
that
how he
commentary?
turned. It's on the Google Drive. It should be
How do we?
deleted.
Yeah, no, we should put it on Discord for
No,
everybody to watch,
no.
please.
It
I would
was-
rewatch
illegal
this movie,
stuff happened.
but I've never heard our own
Pretty sure
commentary
illegal
on it.
stuff.
Gee, you would listen to it and be like, no, we need to bury this underground.
I have
Please
not been.
Put it under discussion and have them have.
Of course they wanted. Of course they do. I just realized I hadn't been invited back since. That
What?
makes sense. Since that day.
Back to Bobby's place.
Yeah.
When did we do that? That was years ago.
That was it. I'm joking.
Yeah. I don't know. That
That's hyperbole, guys.
I want to watch it because I've never watched our own.
Well, you mean listen to it.
Or what? Listen to it?
yeah, it's an audio.
I was an and you just
Yeah.
play it over the.
Over the thing, yeah.
You started
Oh.
at the time
By
the
the
movie
way,
starts. Yeah.
I just did that the first time for Joe Rogan does a thing when he's not actually doing the UFC. He and his friends get drunk and do the UFC commentary. And then you're supposed to, like, if you watch it afterwards, you play it over the UFC that just happened the
Yeah.
night before. It's so much better than the commentary. Like,
yeah, you have
so
to
much
watch
better.
it. You
Yeah.
can't just listen to the audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's tough to actually make that into a video because you run into legal issues there. You know, you can't just like show a whole movie, even if you're talking over it. I don't know. Nobody else does it, so I'm assuming it's illegal. Yeah, so Street Fighter, that review will be up on
And the commentary,
Friday.
too.
No, not the commentary.
Link to commentary.
Bobby, could you give
unfortunately.
them a numerical value at the end? I think I could really just wrap it.
I don't know, man, because I don't think of these movies in like
I know.
like a
I
rating
was joking
sense.
about
Yeah.
it. It was a callback.
I
dude.
know. But I do have the credits at the end of this one, so I did add that. Next movie is going to be
What a
Max
badass.
Payne.
I forgot that was a movie.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did.
Is that who's that? Is that Wahlberg?
Yep.
Wow.
How about Hitman? You should watch Hitman.
I think I'm going to do Hitman after that because I've never seen a Hitman movie.
Have you played a Hitman game?
I want to watch Hitman.
I played a little bit of a Hitman
Is Assassin's
game.
Creed on your list too?
I've seen that movie before, and I don't know. Like, some movies don't give me much to work with. So Assassin's Creed, I'll give it.
Oh, I guess there's shit
Yeah,
there's
this
stuff
movie's
to make fun
bananas.
of.
All right, Street Fighter is just all over the place, dude. Like, I could talk for days on this, but yeah, Assassin's Creed would be tough.
I
Like,
By the way-
enjoyed watching this movie with you guys. Maybe if the movie wasn't horror great, I enjoyed watching this movie with you guys.
Gee, it's not scrapped.
we've already established that it doesn't matter what you're doing as long as you're doing it with other people. You're having a good time. So
It's
it's
so
not saying
true.
much about this movie. Yeah, but we'll have to think of some good movies to put on, when everybody's, relaxing, winding down at the TwitchCon house or the DLG.
Do you have a
house.
projector anymore, Bobby? Or do you have access to a projector?
I could probably get a projector.
That'd be kind of sweet, dude.
Yeah, we could get a projector and then
something
I don't.
outside
Someone's
around
probably
the
got
pool?
a Bluetooth speaker. Like someone's got to have something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
get that going.
Damn, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
A midnight showing of Super Mario Bros. Dude, so my favorite ones so far have been, obviously, you're not going to do better than Rampage. That was the best one.
But
But
Rampage is
the
good.
second is Mario Brothers.
Really?
I thought that was really good.
Did not enjoy making that one. That was the hardest one for me to make.
Only because of the information that you brought to light. Like, I had no idea they were getting drunk on set. I didn't know that
Yeah.
it was so shitty because of the conflict between the this and that. And
Yeah.
it was great, man. I thought it was really
Yeah,
informative.
looking at it through that lens, you really start to understand why the movie is what it is. But
And you give people the tip of, if you watch this and take the Super Mario Brothers out, it's not bad as a weird 80s movie.
yeah, it's not living up to the Super Mario brand. You take that away, and this movie is just like some weird movie from the 90s. Like
Yeah.
it's an instant cult classic. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I find that as I watch these movies more and more, I start to like them more and more. I don't know if I should be concerned about that.
Oh, by the way, we got tweeted to by the National Association of the Super Mario Brothers movie. Like, they are like keepers of the movie.
Oh,
And-
SMBmovie.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you know that we're in correspondence with them.
Oh, what did they say?
I think they just want to chat and like maybe chat it up some more. I don't
Dude,
know.
I'd love to talk about that movie
Yeah,
with
yeah.
them. Yeah, there's a lot of people who really love that movie.
They
at
put it
SMB.
back in the movie theaters.
I mentioned that in the movie. John Leguizamo did that whole promotion for it for their 20th anniversary. Yeah, man. I'm glad that people like that movie. Like, I feel like it gets a lot of undeserved negativity. And it was the first live action video game movie. Like, it did it, man. It went out there and did
Yeah.
it and paved the way for everything else.
When are we going to get Detective Pikachu?
Probably soon, man. I need a good one.
I really want to watch.
You need a breakout hit.
Actually,
I need
would
to
appreciate that
do a
lot.
new one.
Can I watch that with? No, I can't.
I mean, we can play it at TwitchCon House. But yeah, I actually genuinely want to see that movie. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. New movies are sometimes tough for me to do, though. So, I don't know. I thought that about Rampage, and that one turned out fine. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
All
should
right.
go to Sonic the Movie in theaters together. Because doing things together is fun.
Yeah. No, I'd be down to go
Before
see
you
Sonic
yell
in
at
theaters.
everybody and leave.
I know, right?
All
Can
right.
I get a little more of that vodka?
That's right.
So it is time for the news. Oh, by the way, I just always like to do this. I put it in my movie reviews. Movie cost $35 million to make. Guess how much it made?
I think I know. I saw it.
First of all, $35 million
no, I don't
to
know.
make. I do not know where that went. Like, I have no idea. Usually you can watch a movie and like, oh, okay, the
You're
special
being
effects.
a little rough, dude.
$35 million? I don't. Probably a lot of the set pieces. They had not a lot of special effects in this
Yeah.
movie. I don't know if there's any special effects, but if you watch the review, my biggest problem with this movie is the editing. But I'll let the movie review do the talking there. But yeah, $35 million to make. How much did it make?
I guess based on the name, I'm going to go with 125 million.
Wow. Okay, so that's just slightly more than what Mortal Kombat made. Mortal Kombat had an $18 million budget.
I'm just saying based on the name.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think
you're,
Japan
and you're
probably-
right to think so on the
Okay.
brand alone.
On the brand alone.
And Jean-Claude.
But
early
obviously I'm
90s.
wrong from his tone. Chi, what's your guess?
How much it made?
What's Chad saying?
No,
It
not how much it
probably
made.
lost money.
Oh, total. Ooh, I doubt it lost money. There's no way. Well, I don't know. You can go. So it costs 35. What do you say?
I don't know, 40.
40 million? You think
Yeah.
it made 40? No, it made 85 million.
Oh, okay.
Right in the middle.
I'm really
Yeah.
bad at this.
Yeah. But
That
it's
wasn't
still
bad.
pretty good. I mean, almost triple its money. What is that? Yeah, not quite.
Yeah.
But
Not
yeah,
quite
I mean, it turned a profit.
On brand alone.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little news here. First up, let me pull this up here. There we go. Loot boxes in games are gambling and should be banned, says UK MPs. MPs being members of parliament. So there was this whole document released, very long, very specific, a lot of pages talking about loot boxes and being very critical of the game industry, particularly focusing on FIFA. Is that that real popular soccer game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football.
And this is kind of just becoming a lightning rod for discussion. You know, a lot of people who've been talking about this have taken either side of this, mostly in the against side, against loot boxes, have been, supportive of this document. But it could, I don't know. I don't know how Parliament works. I don't know if this could eventually lead to a situation like we have in, Belgium, where loot boxes are just straight up illegal now. Like, if you want to sell Overwatch there, you can't have loot boxes.
Like, forget banning loot boxes first. We need to ban fucking juice boxes for kids first. That's just like sugar in a fucking cardboard box. And they're worried about... They're worried about, like, if you want to fly kick anything out of a child's hand, it's going to be fucking a Go-Gurt or some goldfish or some juice boxes. Like, it's hard for me to...
Here's the problem, Chi. When you buy a juice box, or when the parent buys a juice box, the parent knows that they're getting this, like, sugar-packed, terrible for their kid.
They know they're buying concentrated sugar.
They know what they're buying.
Yeah.
I guess.
Liquid crack juice.
Yeah.
Let's start them
When
young.
you buy a loot box, you do not know what you're getting.
Oh.
And it can be...
So it's not a Wonder Ball. The Wonder
basically
Juice.
what it
It's
is.
not like a mystery flavor.
It's not a mystery flavor.
Yeah, it's not a mystery flavor or a
not even
mystery like
flavor.
caloric intake.
Mystery value.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
imagine if some of the juice boxes were mud water inside, and then some of them were champagne. Like, all a bit based on rarity, right?
That's fun. That
Yeah.
should be a thing at my bar.
Would it be though?
Yeah.
It'd be fun until somebody fucking goes.
I should have loot box drinks. Like you could have mud water.
Let's have loot
or
boxes
champagne.
at the.
Oh, we
at the thing.
should.
Some
Loot
sort of
juice
loot boxes.
boxes.
I don't
Juice boxes.
Oh,
Loot juice
man.
boxes.
Anyway.
It's a surprise every time.
Anyway, I agree with Belgium. I think loot boxes should be done away with for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And especially because it's bleeding over. I've talked about it before, but I have to bring it up. It's bleeding over into children's toys. Mila is
Crazy.
super fascinated with stuff where she doesn't know what she's going to get. And I get that there's this extra excitement, but you end up getting, and just like anything else, just like fucking Borderlands, there's commons, rares, whatever, uncommons, rares, and ultra rares of these little dolls called LOL Surprise.
Yeah.
And so
But it's not wow surprise. They're gonna have to go through the grind for that
well, the parents
for
have
that
to go
drop
through
rate.
have to go through the grind. And so
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I told her straight up. I was like, hey, there's no more of these. I know that because you don't even play with them. It's all about the opening.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're basically gambling.
Yeah.
So I took that away. And why would I not, if I could, vote for adults being like the problem with this is it plays off of a weakness of human nature, not human decision making. Somebody that doesn't have their life together or has a really good grasp of what's going on is going to spend all of their money on this. All of their money. There's people that spend $20,000 on FIFA. And
I think we all agree that it's gotten pretty predatory at this point.
Yeah.
And
Gambling is a real issue. Don't get me wrong. Like that's horrible.
yeah. And this is just, I don't know. It's kind of the same thing, but in a more subversive way. It's under the guise of a video game. So yeah, it's pretty dangerous, and especially when it's targeted at kids. So, there's always a point where there needs to be a little regulation. I know we don't want the government in our business and everything, but sometimes, we don't know what's good for us. But I don't know. And the problem is that this has been going on forever, and it's never going to be regulated by the people who are doing it. As long as it's legal, like unless there's an outside force that comes in and says you cannot do this, or we have the right to sue you or fine you, then it's not going to stop, right? Like gaming industries, as long as they can make money, they're going to do whatever they possibly can. Yeah, well, yeah,
that's why we need government oversight, and this is like
to a certain degree.
Yeah, this is a good point of like where you need to intervene, I think. Anyway, let's move on.
All right. Next up, Discord Nitro games are going away next month because most
users weren't even playing them. It's funny that this comes up right now because last month we were like, gee, look at all these cool games. And you're like, those are good games. And we're like, yeah, they're good games. And now it's going away.
Yeah. But I see what they're saying. Like, we played it once. We used this feature once, or you guys did. You and Ray did, I think.
I've used it maybe 3 times.
For the purpose of the podcast, just to kind of check it out and see what it was all about. But other than that, I don't think anybody ever really played games on here.
Well, I'm actually sticking with Nitro because I like the higher bit rates. Like, I can send 10 photos at once. You guys can't, just because you know. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but it'll tell you that like your files are too powerful or whatever. But now I can just send giant files.
What about a personal message? Because I feel like
in PMs.
Yeah. Oh, and the emotes. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's other reasons to have that too, but the games wasn't the selling point for
was not the selling point, no.
Yeah.
And they should bring down the price accordingly, I think. But who knows?
$10
$10 is a lot. By the way, guys, we did ask for this, but like if you're going to support us and you're going to spend $10, you get some stuff out of this. And it helps us also a little tiny bit. There's better ways to support us. I guess the best way would just be like Patreon. That would be the best.
I feel like people just love, like in chat, they're just talking about the emotes. I know most people that do unlock, what is it, Nitro?
Yeah.
It's mostly for emote purposes.
And the GIFs. The GIFs are awesome.
GIFs. And I know a lot of my friends, they don't even sub to me because other streamers have better emotes.
Why don't you make better emotes?
I don't know. It takes time and effort, and
no, it doesn't.
I'm not really full
of that. We'll talk about it. Go on Fiverr and have somebody make you some for $5.
Oh,
I feel like things never cost $5 on Fiverr.
No, they don't. It's true.
All right. Oh, and then the Final Fantasy remake trailer. We watched that, right?
We did.
Okay.
Yes, and we talked about it already.
We did, yeah.
All right. So that means it's time for listener questions.
All
right.
What sound effects is listener questions? Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, man. All right. Let me bring it up over here so I can read it. First one coming from The Lotion. What year? I like how we have a really short listener question and then one that's like 12 paragraphs.
Yeah, Worconius. You're our number one question asker. You know better than this, dude. I don't even think we can read through that, dude. If you're here, can you sum that up? Can you get a TLDR?
Well, it's mainly the first part. Then he goes into some details.
Okay.
But I'll read. Let's read Clown Lotion's question here. What year is the cutoff for retro games?
So
2003.
There's no hard answer because
June 18th.
every year that happens, one more year of past stuff can become classic. That's the way that I look at it. Because there's a KGB is a local classic rock station, and I remember the first night that I heard Nirvana on there, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then I was like, "Oh shit, it's been 20 years." Like, yeah, that's cool. So like for me, the goal line is being moved every day that passes. That's as long as it's like more than X amount of time ago. I guess that X amount of time is what, 15 years? Then it's fine.
Okay, so you're saying 15 years?
I'm saying 15.
All right. Yeah, that's probably a good estimate. Chi, you agree with that?
What is the cutoff for like what you would deem actually retro?
Retro, yeah. I'm saying 15. Which would mean like Resident Evil 3 is retro.
For me, I think anything before the first generation of consoles, like I know it's not the first gen, but like the PlayStation 1,
right,
the original Xbox, the N64.
Those are all retro.
Not really, in my opinion.
You're saying Atari and below.
Those are retro.
Yeah.
Like anything right before then, that's retro.
It's hard to say not Nintendo isn't retro at this point. Like just
the N64. No, when I think
that's
retro,
like 90s. That's got to be retro,
I think of
right?
just any game that Bobby wants to play.
Yeah, there you go. Boom. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Bazinga.
All right. Okay. Warconius, I'm gonna
Even
shorten
if
this
it was
one up
made
here.
yesterday. Bobby wants to play, you're fucking retro, dude.
It's neo retro. Let's see. Warconius says Tokyo Game Shows this week. I know not all of you are into Japanese games, but these games are super influential. Which franchises have really resonated with you? And he gives several examples there.
This is exactly what I was talking about. This is why I want to play Final Fantasy 2 or 7. Was it a really good game that was resonating with me, or was it just the very best game out that year? That's why I want to play it again. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. For sure, it was the best game out that year for me.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make it a good game now? I don't know.
My answer for this one is most of them resonated with me. I think predominantly a lot of the time outside of becoming, a PC gamer. Before I was just full-blown PC gamer, and I think around CS 1.5 is when I really converted. Even though I dabbled in PC gaming, I became like a true PC gamer come CS 1.5 and the spawning of the Steam client. But before then, I was playing all of these games. Virtually almost all of these games, all these titles you're referencing to, whether it's the RPGs, the horror games, or anything else, like that's what good gaming was to me. And even though I appreciate all of it, if there was like one, franchise that I would say I grew up with and I was excited for every single iteration of it, Suikoden. And
there was only 3, right?
No, there's a lot of them. There's at least,
Really?
I think there's like
I
up
love
to
the first
6
one.
at least.
Oh,
Can we fact check how many Suikodens there are?
Oof.
I think
Good
I
luck
stopped.
spelling that, too.
Suikoden.
Oh, yeah, that helps. Damn,
Yeah,
I think
6.
you nailed it.
Boom.
God damn it. Bobby's
Yeah.
a goddamn genius.
Well, the spelling and me and the number of Suikodens available. But if there was any game that I felt like was such a unique equation of its own while all of the JRPGs were out there, Suikoden was my series. It's the one where I would, on top of everything else, it was the one game where I got super excited for every new launch and then also would spend countless hours into it until I virtually beat the game.
But there is no Suikoden 6.
No, only 5 of them, from what I can see.
Okay.
Out of the games that he lists here.
No, that's what I was saying. It wasn't on the list. It wasn't at Tokyo Game Show.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, he lists just a lot of games in general that, from the past. But
the question in that paragraph is, which franchises have really resonated with you?
franchises,
Tough.
I mean, I don't think
Devil Let Me Cry was awesome. Super cool when I was playing those.
And is Metal Gear Solid the most import action game of all time?
Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, I don't know. I can't comment on that.
It's tough, man. It's really tough, and I always run into this divide. There's a certain year up until everything that we played was Japanese. Not until 15 years ago or did other countries start making video games. So we have, big
Can we rewind
blockbuster.
that?
Like
Not until
Blockbuster.
15 years ago did other companies start making video
Like
games.
Blockbuster,
It was
mainstream.
Okay,
Emilio,
like
come in with
90s
the
was
facts.
predominantly, yeah. And
Yeah, that's what
after
I'm
that
saying.
Napoleon take last week, man, I don't know.
I know we got trounced for that one. We'll say Napoleon. Yeah, France. I actually looked it up. France is the most winning army in Europe for the last 200 years. So sorry about that one.
Corrections Department.
Sorry, France.
So, I don't know. What was I going to say? He lists a game here, Octopath Traveler, and for some reason I've been really intrigued with that game. Now, it's very expensive. It's like $60, and at some point I want to get this and play it. I know it's like an 80-hour game too, but for some reason that game just, I don't know. It reminds...
Traveler? What
you haven't seen that?
We've seen it.
Yeah,
it looks awesome.
What is this about?
It's
listener questions?
It's like
Oh yeah,
it's a Square
the
Enix
8
game.
different. Oh yeah, the 8
but the
different
graphics
heroes,
are
that's
like
right.
3D.
It just reminds me so much of Final Fantasy III, which was one of the few JRPGs, maybe the only JRPG I ever really got into. Certainly the only Final Fantasy game I ever played. But it also looks modern in a way.
I'm
returning
literally
those.
tearing the velvet cover. How could you? No, there's no way you. There's our sweat and our fucking. No,
Doesn't
there's
matter,
no
I'm
way.
returning it.
The bottom of
The
my
new
feet.
ones are on their way.
I've touched
They're
the
already
velvet
returned.
covers. There's
Again,
no way
we
you
cut
can
off
return
Bobby.
this. Sorry.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, I think we wrapped up that question.
All I'm saying is your nostalgia has been hijacked by Japanese. That's all I'm saying. 'Cause there's nothing else out.
We missed a donation, so
shit.
Elix donated $5. As
Thanks,
we missed,
homie.
we missed
Dude,
Chad.
it has been so long since we got a tip. Like we get a lot of subs, and I'm glad for that. But an actual tip,
We've been getting bits though.
yeah, bits too. But Bobby, like if you give a tip, we get like 100% of the tip, right?
Yeah.
But then if you get like biddies, it's like we get
We get
all
half of that, right?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
I don't know how it breaks down. Like if the bits that we see donated to us is the half that we get.
I think we get it all.
Yeah.
At that point, but you get 70 cents on the dollar. The way I understand.
Yeah, I
it.
think when they buy them, they pay for like I don't know. It's a confusing.
I'm not
system.
bringing it up because I want more money. I'm just saying like this is all new to me.
Yeah, and Rabbit Teeth did donate some bits earlier in the show.
Thanks,
too.
homie.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Next question from Zap. Emilio said spoilers about the ending to Chrono Trigger, a 24-year-old game. At what point is the person who spoiled at fault for not having enjoyed the game, book, or movie in a reasonable amount of time?
Gosh, it really depends on what it is and the situation. So like something like Game of Thrones that's like culturally relevant throughout what's going on at the time. You got a week, bro. That's like a week and that's it. Like you either have access or you don't. I'm sorry, you're fucked. If it's something gigantic, like, and he even crossed this out. He said Dumbledore dies. Like that's been out. That's in a book. That's been out for I don't know how long.
Practically a meme.
At this point, yeah. I don't know what the answer is there. I don't know what the answer is there. But obviously, I was joking about Chrono Trigger.
Yeah. I don't know. Spoilers are a weird thing. You kind of have to feel it out. But you also have to do your due diligence as someone who doesn't want something to be spoiled. You got to avoid the places that are obviously going to spoil it.
Yeah. I mean, you want to talk when you're talking about those things, you want to talk amongst people that also have seen it, right? Just make sure that those people, other people,
Yeah,
also
I think it's
listening.
just like a lot of stuff online too. I don't know. I'm not on social media or anything, but I know it's an issue there.
We have extra responsibility because more people hear us than most people.
Well, you know that's
that's
something I run into with my movie reviews too. Like
Fuck off your fucking 20-year-old movie reviews.
not all of them, man. I mean, I did say
sorry.
the monkey doesn't die at the end of Rampage.
Yeah,
and
and I was a little. I'm not kidding. I was like, shit.
yeah, I
Kinda
know.
ruined this a little
Yeah,
bit.
I know. I was deliberating about
But
that.
it
a little
also gave the best part of your video.
bit. Yeah, I mean, I had to have the monkey sex
Second
joke
best
in there.
part.
So yeah, but yeah, I mean, that's a big part of the movie, and it's a fairly recent movie. It just came out last year, so I don't know. And it's always tough with that. Like, do I give a spoiler alert because I want to get into depth? But even if it is an old movie, a lot of these movies people haven't seen, and it does detract something if you spoil a part for them. Like,
And
even
you
if you
might
don't
be-
care about spoilers, it does. Like, I don't personally care about spoilers, but I know that it does take away a little something when I go to see the movie.
Right. And you might be distracting people from going to see it at all if you give away the
Yeah,
major
like a trailer that gives too much away.
Yeah.
God, they just did that. What was that movie I saw where they just totally gave the entire thing away? Oh, they're redoing Black Christmas for the third time.
Please play this game, Bobby. So
It
we
looks
know that-
amazing, doesn't it?
Dude, it looks so
but
good.
dude, it's a long game. Octopath
Who
Traveler.
cares? If you get 10 hours in and you're done, you're done. At least you got 10 hours out of
No,
it.
this is a summer game right here. This is
All right.
when I'm on vacation. Price will be down by then. All right, we got one more question here. Let's see. Sniper asks, Chi, I remember you really liking My Time at Porsche. If you could summarize the game in 200 characters or less, what would that look like?
So you got this hero, right? And you started with nothing, right? And you're thrown into this world and there's pixel graphics all around you, right? but they're not really pixel. No, just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
Sniper is getting on my case because we're doing a curator page, and if there's one game I could curate, it's anything Harvest Moon related. I love my time at Porsche. I haven't really played it since official launch, so it's hard to really write a true.
I think your
curation,
200 hours trumps that you played.
I know. I could easily, because I spent, oh my gosh, fun story, playing Classic WoW. I love to write trolley letters to people.
Okay, within the game.
Yeah.
In-game mail.
Yeah, and love letters. Like, legitimately, I'm writing love letters in WoW. And I'm taking my sweet-ass fucking time. Writing it out, role-playing, setting it up. I'm a good writer, guys. And so I take my time with it. And so a simple 200-word request is actually going to be an hour-long thing for me because I'm so OCD with stuff. It's not going to take me an hour to do it.
You're not going to get it here.
But it's the thing. It's huh?
So he's not going to get his answer, is what you're saying.
Well, here, definitely not verbalized. No, I would take my time. I would delete things. I want to make it sure that it embodies everything that I want to say about it. And
you guys are terrible with deadlines.
Sniper, you're never getting this.
Yeah.
Hey, I did all 3. I've done more than anybody else.
No, he just took all the old ones that we had and put them under your name.
No, I've done 4 of the new ones.
Yeah.
I'm really...
So check out our curator
quantity
page.
or quality here?
Yeah.
What are we talking?
I actually wrote a couple different reviews on my Steam page that are pretty decent. So
Sniper, we can do Borderlands 3 next. Although it's not on Steam yet, so. Are we all done?
We got a last-minute listener question from chat here from Idiocracy. Playing WoW Classic has made me appreciate all of the quality of life and improved UI features of WoW retail. Do you relate at all, Chi?
Idiocracy, that is such an interesting question. My answer to that is absolutely not. The reason being is because, I never played any World of Warcraft past... I quit the day Wrath of the Lich King patched for all of the WoW servers. So before quality of life really ever existed, or anything that was time-saving...
There's more quality of life now than there was in the original.
No. He's saying playing WoW Classic has made you appreciate all the quality of life and improved UI features of WoW retail. So I am answering this question correctly.
Sorry.
I cannot relate because I don't know what those quality of life things or items are. And on top of that, I made it to level 28 without even installing one single mod. And I don't think I'm playing the game in a bad way or a bad fashion. I'm still moving through the games. I do see myself installing mods, but I feel like right now, anything that I'm doing, it's not extensive enough to the point where it's like I'm trying to, really maximize my time. I'm just going through the game. I'm really good at questing regardless, and I have enough nostalgic memory to really kind of utilize everything the way it's my time in the game the way it's meant to be. So, and plus I'm a warrior, so I'm just running mostly dungeons. I'm going to install mods, and that's going to improve the quality of life. But anything retail versus classic, I don't know. I'm actually I call myself almost like a pureblood when it comes to classic WoW, because I'm literally, as I mentioned earlier, if I could write a memoirs about WoW, it's from vanilla to classic. I'm literally jumping from the same game I was used to playing before to the same game that I'm playing now, especially being on Alliance, because I didn't play Alliance when the Burning Crusade was out. I was strictly Horde. Yeah. So the last time I was actually an Alliance character was vanilla WoW. So I'm not actually seeing any differences. I'm just reliving the game again. And hoping to get more out of the vanilla experience, classic experience, than I did originally playing vanilla. So really interesting. And that's the funny thing. When I try to open up a conversation with any new person that I'm speaking to, like via guild, I almost always start with, so what expansions did you play? It just opens up a whole like window of like what their experience with WoW is and how they actually look at the game, play the game. I'm playing with people who've never played the game before or who have only really played retail. I'm seeing differences and variances in how they play and how I play, and it's just so interesting. Someone's history with WoW really changes up like how they're actually playing it.
Bobby, are you being pulled in at all?
To WoW?
Yeah, like WoW Classic?
I mean, it looks cool. but it's not an option at this point.
Just time-wise, right?
Yeah, time-wise. I mean, it'd be cool, man. Talk to me a year ago when I was playing whatever expansion was out then, and yeah, I would have loved it. But
Yeah.
Mr. Pandoria, get out of here.
Myst? No, that wasn't a year ago. That was a long time ago.
Who has the better fashion, Chi? Would it be Alliance or Horde-drobe?
Drobe? Wardrobe? Hordrobe.
I'm working on it. I was
Oh my
working on it
gosh.
for the entire time you were talking.
Earlier I was talking about DLG Con and how I'm like, oh, I need a whole new wardrobe.
Well, she said wardrobe, but I heard Horde-drobe. I was like, oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Fractal Josh is going to be there. New wardrobe. Just kidding.
Oh, my.
Oh my.
Shout out to our
He
sponsor.
asked me specifically, is there going to be locks on the doors?
Oh my God, what?
I'm kidding.
All right. I think we're at the end of our show here. What's everyone going to be playing next week?
Borderlands 3. Oh, I didn't say how much I played this fucking game. You know how much I was talking about? Like, I made time. I put in 15 hours in the last... No, more. Yeah, well, let's say 15 hours.
It tells you your playtime when you load up the game, which I found very interesting for each
really?
character, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even look.
I'm going to be up all night playing classic WoW, running dungeons. If you want to hit me up, hit me up. And my big brother, literally, if I don't show up, he's going to be mad.
I've got a friend at Blizzard. Maybe I should activate my account. All right. But yeah, definitely Borderlands 3.
All right. I'm going to try it. I'm going to commit to it. I'm going to finish guard duty this week, come back with the full review on that. And then, I don't know, something else new. I'm going to be watching Max Payne. So that review, I'll be talking about it next week, and that'll come out the Friday after.
So 10 being a purchase and
Oh,
1 being...
speaking of purchases, I bought BlizzCon tickets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to
you're not
BlizzCon
going
this
this year,
year.
right?
No.
You guys might. Guys, if I don't go, it's rare that I do cons
That
for
date
longer
is
than
going to be
24 hours,
really
right?
tough for me.
I rarely do cons for longer than 24 hours. So
Word
my
on the street
tickets
is
are
this
2
is going to be a
days.
pretty big BlizzCon, too.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I mean, news on
You
the...
could come, maybe you could come for at least a day.
I was going to say, and that's not substantiated. I'm just saying that the rumor mill is Diablo 4 is going to come out this. Is going to be
It's
announced.
got to, right?
It's got to. What else do they got going for them right now?
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of like being, what do you call it? Atrophying.
Yeah.
Everything.
Idiocracy asks, how did I buy a ticket this late? I've got friends in low places where the whiskey pours or something.
Yeah, it's a great song. I'm drunk. I've been drinking straight vodka for the last 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
All right.
No, Bobby, how far are you from purchasing Borderlands 3? Like, if purchasing was a 10, where would you be on that scale?
I don't know. Those games, they get cheap real quick. You know, I'm sure they'll
They
have
don't,
a sale.
though. Not the... Maybe the DLCs
I don't know. Well, it
fluctuate.
depends. They're on Epic Store now, so I don't know. Maybe it'll be different.
Oh,
but
that's
I
true.
assume that Epic is going to match whatever Steam does. So Steam's going to have their winter sale. I'm sure Epic is going to do something like that, and I'm sure Borderlands will be discounted at
So
at
would it
some
be a
rate.
purchase for you at what percentage of discount?
It's not really a money issue right now anyway. It's just more of a time issue. So I don't know. And, you know, by the time I do have
Did
time
you
to
like
play
the
it,
game? That's the thing about your reviews. I don't even know. Like, you say the best things and the smartest things, but I don't know if you like it or not.
yeah, it was all right. I don't know. I was pretty neutral on it, man. It's just more Borderlands.
All right. There you go. More Borderlands.
Yeah, $30 by Christmas. That's what I'm saying.
I doubt it.
Maybe $49.99.
You're going to miss the wave of everybody playing. Anyway, speaking for Bobby, Chi, and myself, borderline titties, everybody. Hey, I'm pouring them down my shirt here. Somebody was like, honestly requested us to argue after when the music's playing.
Yeah.
Like, could you guys argue every time because it's really funny? I was like, you can't
Yeah.
make up arguments.
Do you argue that like my legs are too much legs for Twitch?
I didn't think it was not enough.
What?
What?